You know what I mean? So, as men of the law, we need to desire, just our meat portion. When you go into that word vanity, it goes into, portion or something that's due. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when you got, a lot of money, you forget to pray. It's such little things, you forget to pray. You know what I mean? You forget to read, your Bible and stuff, and, just forget the Most High, completely,
You forget where that money even came from.
Right.
It came from the Most High, so you got to give him all the praise,
Yeah, I think it's good. Exactly. And really, a lot of these dudes, man, like Kanye, Kyrie, even though they was taking away Kyrie's NBA contract, taking away Kanye's Adidas brand deals or whatever. He's good for the rest of his life. Either way, with all the riches he has.
He said that shit too. Remember? He was saying that they can't take this away from you. You know?
Like really. All he got to do is just find a decent guy. That's it. Just live. But these celebrities they have to live it up the best. It's a trend among celebrities to look like the richest, the most lavish lifestyle. Yeah. I always post on Instagram what you doing.
All the chains.
Oh, I'm in Dubai today. I'm in
tomorrow I'm in Bali or
Paris. You know
what I mean?
I'm in Paris, so I'm at the Eiffel Tower today. Snap his fingers. His dude is in meeting the person in Dubai.
Yeah.
All right. The next day he's at a mansion with 12 girls in the swimming pool.
All horrors too.
Yeah.
And it'd be funny. I think it's real funny too, to be honest. To be honest, like the rappers in the videos and shit, they be having some of them bitches be ugly. I'm just gonna say it. I saw sometimes like them video bitches. Some of them video bitches be ugly. You know what I mean? Like they don't be getting the top of the top type, which the top
dirty,
of the top, like
ratchet.
These are whores trying to take your money and shit. Like like I said, like what's her name? Brittany. What's her name? Brittany. Yeah. That damn hoe, man. Like nobody don't want her. Like come on, man. Like you can see how her face look. Like I don't want her, man. I don't care how many times.
About Brittany Griner?
Yeah.
Bruh, like you hear her talk, you think she's a man.
Yeah.
Like really, like she got a deeper voice than me.
Yeah.
Any chick that slept with 1,000 men is ugly. Not attractive.
You see that though too, because it'll be let's say a woman you might have known, and maybe she was a virgin or whatever the case.
Yeah.
You think she's like you think she's attractive, beautiful. A few years go by, she's been, running the street or whatever. You look at her, you like, damn, man, what happened?
Yeah, her. I said that too.
You be like, your peak was high school or middle school or whatever it was, man. Then out of high school, man, you won't even recognize the bitch, man.
I said that to a girl. A girl slapped me. She slapped me. She actually fought me like a man. Literally, I said that to her. I see this girl, Everlease. Chick was, like I said, she was like hot Ephraim-Mite. Years down the line, she now like, like I was like 26, 27, something like that when I first came in the troop or something. Chick was shit. Like, I was like, yo, look at her. Look at her. Her tits are dripping. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit was perky and stuff. Now she ain't shit, you know?
Yeah, cause shit, when you have, multiple baby daddies, man, that shit fucking, that takes a toll, that takes a heavy toll on you. Cause, it's one thing, when a woman has, her first child, basically she starts to lose, some of the looks she had, as a virgin or, before she had a kid. Because,
that go to transformation.
Yeah, because, she's going to that maternal, state of her life where she's supposed to take care of a child and focus less on her beauty,
Yeah, like it's a lot. You remember, the body got to carry a whole nother vessel, another body inside of it. You know what I mean? Like, you remember, some women die from childbearing, you know? Like, that's the heaviest, like, the woman body got to hold another body, like another person inside of it, the child, the offspring, all right, that you love, So, and most of these girls, they don't have good lifestyles. They smoke. I see a girl smoking cigarettes, and she pregnant, big ass belly and everything. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Going out, all type of stupid stuff. Like, what are you doing? Like, that kid gonna be gone. You wonder why, like I said, the scriptures do tell you, mistress women shall bring forth monsters and stuff.
Yep.
Look what they bring it forth, man. But look at the damn woman. You know? And that's this world and stuff, man. This world is destructive.
Yep.
You know? Sorry.
Kind of quick one. It says, 2nd Ezra 6:21. It says, "And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up." Yeah, because you see, a lot of these days you see women giving birth to premature babies coming out. Well, like it says right here, 4 months, 3 months, and then they basically grow up. They them children, they still live.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of, I know this one Jake in the world. I think he came out around like 7 months, and then so that goes to show you, this prophecy kicking in. Them untimely children.
Yeah, because these women really don't be giving a damn, man. They don't they found that they pregnant and still live like they wasn't. Still going to the club, still drinking, smoking, partying, doing whatever it is, sleeping with multiple men. They don't even know who the dad of the baby is, man.
They setting it up. They know, and some of them do know too. They know, I was with him, but I just met him. He looked good. Hey, I think he's the catch.
Yeah.
I'll tell him it's his, because he ignorant of the fact what I do at night.
Yeah, it's
Chick
man.
crazy, like
There's certain stories like, a man will be with a woman, 20 years later, he found out the kid was never his in the first place.
Dude be crushed.
That could make someone crazy.
Yeah, dude be crushed and shit.
Yeah.
Proverbs 6, verse 26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
Yeah, man.
And the whorish woman will kill a man, because the glory of a man, the glory of a woman, the glory of a man is a woman. And when they go out there and hit the streets and fuck Tom, Dick, and Hank, that destroy a man. And they gonna hunt for precious life. Wherever they go, they're gonna get the abundance of life, because there's always a Simpson where it's gonna take care of them.
Yeah.
As long as they looking good, they're gonna be treated good.
Yeah. They, like I said, most of them, like I said, what they say, like in the MGTOW, they'll say like the alpha fucks, beta bucks, this shit. It'd be like the dude, like, remember they done got ran through, the woman done had all banged out everything, and she through. Bad boys don't even want her. Now she want to get with, I knew this dude in high school, and he was corny, but he making money, right? He got a stable job, $80,000 a year and stuff. He got a house, car, and all that. Cause remember, Tyrone ain't give a fuck about that. Tyrone just want to fuck you, Tyrone
Chad.
just want to, Chad. They just want to fuck you and go, and they're gonna do what the fuck they want. You cannot control them, But then, like I said, then these chicks, they get with these dudes that are feminine, have no faith, and they literally be just dragging these dudes.
To a piece of bread.
To a piece of bread. Little significance, just like that, nothing.
You be the dude, you be the breadwinner of the house, but then she's in charge of the money.
Yeah.
She's in charge where all the money goes, and running the house how it's supposed to be. When you as the man, you're supposed to do all that, man. You as a man, you're supposed to keep her in line. It shouldn't be the other way around, man. All right.
Right. You said.
Again?
Yeah.
Proverbs 6, verse 26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
That's what these women want, man. The fast life. All right, and that's what happens when society like this that that don't keep the women in check, man. The feminist spirit, all right, saying women is equal with the man, all right, all these different things happening. All right, now look at all this confusion that's going on, man. All right. You can't even walk up to somebody now and say, are you a woman? Are you a man? All right, are you this? Are you that? Or what's your pronoun? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So if you're looking for a quick way to destroy yourself, go chase after one of these whores. You want to commit suicide?
Yeah.
Nice way to do it.
Yeah, and it's crazy though because the women are like the front runners and supporters of the ABC community.
Yeah.
But I seen this video. I guess it's like a thing. That the ABC is trying to push that, like, instead of saying breastfeeding, you got to call it chest feeding because it could offend the he-she's. It could offend the he-she's, so to speak, and this and that. And it's like, oh, but don't y'all support these people? That's why you're not supposed to support these people, man. Yeah. That's why that's going off. Cause see, you starting to say, oh, they can be whatever they want, this and that, all right? And now you got to say, oh, I'm chest feeding, whatever it is, because it's going to offend them and this, that, and the third, man. All right, so that just shows you, man, that these people don't understand, what they're doing, man. All right, you going off, and it's crazy because every law, statute, rule, commandment, whatever you want to say, whatever the Lord says is right and wrong, it's for a reason. It's not for no reason. The Lord just don't say, oh, this and that. Even if He says it, you're supposed to follow it, but it's always, it's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because you going and chasing these damn girls, giving your strength up to some woman or something like that. Like it say that in the scriptures, but just that precept itself, like I said, that can save your life. Yeah. Don't give your strength unto a woman. Yeah. That which destroys kings. Right? Don't ever put her over your substance, your understanding and such. That can save men's life. Man won't be in jail and stuff. Man could be like, say how we are and stuff. Like, we walking upright. You got women, they don't even want to deal. Like I said, they don't even want to deal. They know it's like it's not a game. I'm not playing no games.
Yep.
It's an aura already right there. I'm not tolerating no bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't want the bullshit. I'd rather just deal with these scriptures and get this knowledge and stuff. All right, and do what's lawful within our liberty and such. If you with the games and stuff, you you can keep all the snares and nets. Yep. And that keeps my mind sharp, right? That keeps us straight. And that's our strength in the righteousness of Yahweh Shemel, because we was, like I said, mainly, this girl don't like me, oh my God. Pulling out your hair and shit, closing blinds and shit, head under the pillow. Fuck all that, depressed and shit. Nah, nobody not doing that no more. We moving straight, And Esau promote all that Tyrese spirit crying over and shit. Yeah. Oh, I'm on child support. Why did you even do that with that chick, man? Yeah, you know what she was about.
Yeah, being emotional to your woman and stuff like
pillow
that.
Talking.
Yeah, pillow talking.
That up, man.
And hey, man, that's what a lot of these people be doing, man. That pillow talking spirit, man. That shit is off, man. Mm-hmm. Like you shouldn't be telling your woman about certain things. Mm-hmm. All right, especially in this truth, in the brotherhood. All right, something happens. All right, we supposed to keep it amongst the brotherhood, man. You can't come back to home and tell your woman, oh man, this brother was tripping, or this brother was doing this and that. And she like, oh yeah, you gotta tell him and this and that. And,
she'll get you destroyed.
She'll get your ass destroyed.
Get you kicked out of camp.
I still remember one dude that was in our camp that was doing a video, and you heard his woman in the background talk about, oh, we're the killers now.
What?
You remember that?
That's
I know you remember that. Fucking shit's money.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, like the woman just in the background and shit like that. So
I think you said they supposed to kill you.
Yeah, something like that. He was saying something, and like it was like, negative, I guess. And he was kind of like, I would say he was over exaggerating. And she's like, oh wow, what are they supposed to kill you now or something? Like she said something like that. Mm-hmm. You get your ass in the background.
Yeah, cause like most of these chicks with coming to this truth, like they really just look at us like literally like we these crazy like hatchet running around dude Vikings.
And
it's chop off heads of Edomites and shit right now.
And that's the thing though too, because when you dealing with like a woman long enough and she knows that you in the truth, she starts to be like, yo, you kind of right. I thought you were crazy, but you right about the things you were saying. It's true.
Yeah, I thought you guys were I thought you were just another Muslim or something.
Yeah, I thought you was this and that, but
Sean gotta say that. God just me, guys.
Yeah.
Fine.
Women are not intelligent, so get Genesis 3 and 20. 3 and 5. 3 or 3 and 2. Satan.
Genesis 3 and 20. It says,
3 and 2.
3 and 2.
oh, 3 and 2. Okay, Khan. This Genesis 3 and 2. It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit, it says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, you shall not eat it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall surely not die, or you shall not surely die, for the Most High doth know, in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto the husband with unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Right, so the woman is in league with Satan, the serpent. Read the first verse.
Gone. Genesis 3 and 1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh had made.
Right, so that's what the woman's going to go to. She ain't going to be your ally. 99% of the time, she's going to be your enemy. And get the prophet says, she through her, we all die. Apocrypha means sent away, hidden. Hidden. Esau attempting to hide some of the major prophecies.
Yeah, that's right there.
Wisdom.
Chapter 25, 24.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Right, yeah, so that's what she's going to get. The woman, she's not going to really understand the truth that much. All right, most women, anyway. And she's not really going to be with you. Because if she was with you, her head would be covered, all right? Whether she had a man or not, she would be covering her head when she goes outside. She'll be adhering to the dietary laws. She'll be making garments. She's really in the truth. But women are not really in the truth. They kind of just keyboard warriors. They kind of, some of them believe somewhat. That's pretty much where they at now. There's certain actions you do if you were actually a believer. You would put your hand to the plow and do, the work that the Lord set up for you to do. As a woman or as a man, if you really believe, you would start putting your hand to the plow when you're doing the proper work. All right. Read that again.
Yeah, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, through her we all die.
Through her we all die. Matthew 10, 10 and 1. Yep.
Running now?
Read the first verse. And go down to these 12, 4.
All right. It's Matthew chapter 10 and 1. And it reads, it says, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
All right, get power over and look up power. Because the Lord gave us, this is how we know that we can tell whether you're serious or not, all right, by your actions. Most women ain't serious.
Gone. Power. The word for power in Matthew 10 and 1, it says exousia. It says the power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases, physical and mental power.
Physical and mental power, because you got to have mental power to actually perform what you have in your head and make it reality. All right, most people, they're not going to do it. They're just going to keep thinking about something until it's too late, until they're 60 years old and they can't do it no more. What?
It says the ability or strength with which one is endowed, which
the
he
Lord,
either...
Yeah, the Lord gave us the power to come out and preach. And we believed, and then we took our belief and we made it into reality. Go. Read that again.
It says the ability or strength with which one is endowed, which he either possesses or exercises.
What? Let's read all of them until you get down to the one power on the head.
It says the power of authority, parentheses, influence, and of right privilege.
That's power the Lord gave us. He gave us the power to preach and be confident. Okay? And you got to gain that power over the years. What?
It says the power of rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed.
What?
And then it says the power of judicial decisions. And then it goes on to say it says a ruler, a human magistrate, then leading a more powerful among created beings superior to man, spiritual potentates. And then it says a sign of the husband's authority over his wife.
Yeah, spiritual look up somebody else look up potentates. Go over there and look up potentates. Continue read.
It says a sign of the husband's authority over his wife, the veil which is propriety, or slut. It says the veil with which propriety required a woman to cover herself.
Right, yeah, so if they're really in the truth, they would voluntarily do that. We wouldn't have to tell them. I think it's so damn smart, right? So, you should know the scriptures. All right, maybe not as well as us, but, you should know basic scriptures that pertain to yourself.
Yeah.
And you will have your head covered when you go outside. Not in the house, but, when you go outside.
Yeah. It says in Susanna, basically Susanna was covering herself, and then when the wicked men, tried to accuse her, yeah, they basically told her to take off, her clothes so they could, just look at her, take off her covered clothes, everything, so that they can behold her beauty. I think would have put
fine and shit.
Yes, good point. Yeah, because women when they go outside, they're supposed to be covered up because they belong to their husband. Yeah, you were a righteous woman, you would be able to repeat that. Yeah, I belong to my husband. Most women, they just faking. They kind of want to be a part of a group.
The woman is her hair, so she definitely be hard covering her hair up. Yeah. Especially if they got long hair right down to their back.
Yeah.
Go, get the description.
Yep, I got it. Oh, the definition?
So you jump down to where it said, these 12 Yahushua sent forth.
Yep, that's 5. So this is Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying,
Look up sent forth. Go read it.
Fine. Saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right, and that was right before the Lord opened up the ministry to the Israelite Gentiles that were scattered in Samaria and all over the area. So look up sent forth.
Right, it says sent forth apostello. It says to order one to go to a place appointed.
Did somebody look up the spiritual potentate? Because we're looking that up. Go to Exousia.
And then go in the definition, you'll see the word highlighted.
Copy it, paste it, look up potentate. I want you to stay there though.
I got it.
You got it?
It says a monarch or ruler, especially in autocratic one. And then it says origin late Middle English from Latin potentatis. It says dominion, being from potent, being able or powerful.
All right, so spiritual ruler, king. So the Lord is the spirit. So sent, who has sent forth?
Me.
Sent.
It says apostello, to order one to go to a place appointed, to send away, dismiss, to allow one to depart that he may be in a state of liberty.
Sent, meaning the apostles were under orders to go preach the gospel, what they learned, which is reading the law and the prophets to Israel. Right? And then Paul's letters came later, much later. Right? But there's more. That was it.
It says to order one to depart, send off, to drive away. then yeah, that's
All right, okay. Let me switch speakers. Let me speak out of time. Mine speaking. What's your precept? Read your precept.
This is Isaiah 55 and 7. You know, it goes back, you know, put into the woman, you know, dressing provocative in public. It all goes back to sin and disobedience, you know. It says here, 55 and 7, it says, let the wicked forsake his way, and the righteous man his thoughts, and let him return to the Most High. You know, that adoption also talk about in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, you know, about the dry bones, you know, receiving the, you know, that spiritual bread, you know, the word of the Most High and rising up, right? It says, and he will have mercy upon him, and to the Most High he will have abundantly pardon. So you gotta, you know, repent to the, you know, elect women that receive this word. You know, you got a husband, even if you don't have a husband, you dress modestly, according to the scriptures, and the Most High is gonna pardon you, he's gonna have mercy upon you, you know, for these times, the dangerous times that are about to come.
The reason why these women run around here thinking they can dress any kind of way they want, because they've been programmed by the devil and given too much liberty to gad abroad. So when you come with this doctrine, with this truth, and it tells the women, you know, to cover their private parts, you know, because you belong to the man, they're gonna rebel against it because there's too much freedom here. See? That's
Oh, this is what I have. Jeremiah chapter 29. Jeremiah chapter 29, and this is which one?
somebody.
Stop. Yeah.
Well, you got it.
All right. I'm gonna just read it short. It says, then shall ye call. This is Jeremiah 29 and 12. It says, then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you, and ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart.
Yeah, because you know the only way you're gonna be saved here from the coming destruction is you got to look towards Yahweh Shem Yahushua and ask for protection and help. Anything else that you're looking for to help you is pure vanity, because he's the true and living power, and he's set up to save, you know, the elect of Israel from the coming destruction. Somebody get me 2nd Esdras 15 verse 10.
And it says knowledge and wisdom and understanding should be the deliverance in those days. And like it's only going to be in Yahweh Shema Shai. And nothing that you can learn from Esau from the school system that's going to, you know, basically give you salvation from this destruction that's about to come. So that's the point. Like the only salvation is through Yahweh Shema Shai and knowing his book.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras 15 verse 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
The children of Israel is here in America in captivity, led to the flock to be slaughtered. Led as a flock to be slaughtered. Because that's our enemy's purpose, is to lead us to destruction, because he know that in destroying us, he going to continue to reign. Read.
Yep. And it says, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
He said he's going to bring us out with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, you know, to deliver us from Egypt again. And he also going to send plagues here, the same way as he sent plagues in Egypt when he made the water blood by putting the rod of staff in there. That's the same thing that's happening in Ohio. You know, they had a train wreck there on February the 3rd, and now the water's polluted. The Ohio River runs into the Mississippi River, and the Arkansas River, the Ohio River runs into the Mississippi River, and all of that's going to be contaminated, and it goes down to the Gulf of Mexico. So the same plagues that happened in Egypt before is going to happen now, but the Lord is going to bring us through that with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, which is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and the elect of Israel are going to be delivered. Jump down to 14.
Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Yeah, woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. Destruction to the world and them that dwell there within. Read on 15 again.
Yeah, verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
Yeah, one people gonna stand up and fight against another. And here in Babylon, the citizens are angry. The food prices are sky high. Your rate is low. So, you know, the average six-pack Joe is frustrated. You know, and their blessing is the sword. So they're going to use the money that they have to go purchase guns because they know that this place is through. And that's why they're saying one people going to stand up and fight against another.
Yeah. I was going to make the point too, like you brought up about the, the pollution in Ohio. You know, it was a post that I seen, and basically Joe Biden, you know, he declined to do anything about it. You know, and the people was mad about that because it was like, oh, you know, you giving billions to Ukraine and this and that, but yet, you know, something like this is going on in the U.S. You know, you're not willing to do anything about it. All right, so that just shows you, you know, these people are starting to rile up. Yeah,
and also they made a series on or a show on or a movie on Netflix called White Noise, where they had a movie and it predicted, you know, the things that happened in Ohio. You know, and in that movie it showed that you can't trust in the government. If they tell you to go left, you better go right, because all their answers to the pollution, like. If they tell you to go in that building over there, don't go over there, because everything they tell you to do is going to lead you to destruction.
Hey, what was that movie with Nicolas Cage? That like basically like a couple weeks or months before the oil rig explosion happened, that happened on that movie. And that
The Knowing.
Yeah, The Knowing. That whole movie was basically about like signs and prophecies that are going to take place. It's already set in stone. He was basically trying to figure it out or whatnot, but. You know, like a lot of times in these movies and these shows, they show you what they're gonna do. You know.
Wasn't he trying to stop stuff to happen?
Yeah, he was trying to, and he kind of find out like there's no stopping it. You know, and at the very end of that movie, that destroying wind came through, that flame of fire tore up that whole entire fucking city, man. Beautiful scene watching that shit get destroyed. There was nothing he could do. All he did was went to his family and like basically like, you know, cuddled up with him and whatnot, and the freaking destroying fire tore him up. Like, and that's the kind of like stuff you got to watch. And you got to look at that and use that as like motive to, you know, get right with the Lord. Go ahead, bro.
Continue.
Yeah, I'll start up at verse 15 again. All right. So it says, 2nd Ezra 15, verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, because the rule of law here is not going to be respected. They're not going to care about their kings or their princes. You know, because they don't have no food. Once your belly get hungry, you know, you're going to do whatever you got to do to feed yourself. And for every American citizen here, it's probably like 10 guns. So thus with violence to this great city be thrown down. What?
Yep. And it says, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Because they're gonna close the borders down. So if all hell breaks loose here in Philadelphia, if you stuck in the city, you're gonna be trapped here. You're not gonna be able to leave out of the borders. And if you do happen to leave out, you know, the Edomites gonna be there with weapons to blow your brains out. The same thing that happened in Louisiana when Jake tried to get across the bridge, they was murdering him. So the only thing that you're gonna have for protection is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. If you're not building up your faith now, when it's time to come, when that time comes, you're not gonna have no help. Scripture say, make no tarry to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day. You know, because in your security, you're gonna be destroyed. Right.
It's in Sirach chapter 5 and 7. It says, make no tarry and to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance.
Make no tarry and turn to the Lord. Put that off from day to day. Don't say, I'm going to put off to next week. I'm going to party this week, but then next week, when next week come, I'm going to tighten the ship up. And then when next week come, you're going to keep putting it off, and then you're going to be destroyed. The Lord's going to come like a thief in the night. Go ahead.
If I could add too, because the wrath of the Lord, man, like people don't realize how much the Lord has a foothold in every little thing that happens in this earth, right? So the wrath of the Lord is as simple as a tornado, as simple as a tsunami, as simple as an earthquake, right? All that stuff is a terror in the will of the Lord, and He comes to bring that judgment. So like, you gotta understand, all this judgment is happening. It's happening. Like they even said it. Like they said it multiple times. A lot of this judgment is happening. It's biblical proportion type scale, man. These tornadoes and these earthquakes and these hurricanes are biblical proportions. All right, all these atrocities that are happening are something that's obviously something that's never really been seen before, and at such a large scale on when it's all said and done. We know that that's part of the end times. So that like what the brother said, like you gotta understand that that's all judgment from the Most High. So you gotta make sure you're right with the Lord, because you might be lacking or whatnot, and then the Lord have visit you with like some sort of earthquake, and now you lost your home and all that, and now you're trying to call into the Lord. Right. And then the ultimate judgment we know is that thermonuclear destruction and the fire that the Lord gonna come and bring.
And this is what will happen if you tarry. This is Job 19:29. It says, "Be ye afraid of the sword," and one of the sword is Esau Edom, right? It says, "For wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment." So all these things that's happening, like the brother Ella said, the Most High is in everything that takes place, on earth. Whether the judgment is small or not.
Yeah, they try to call it like Mother Earth and all that, or Mother Nature and all that. It's BS, man. Give the respect to where it's due. To the Most High. Yahweh Shema Shai. All right.
Read on. 18.
Yes, done. This is second Esdras 15 verse 18. And it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid."
Because this is the proudest country on the face of the earth. Their thoughts and their actions are far from the Lord. They rely strictly on what they believe in and what they think. And that's because of their pride, they're going to be destroyed. And the Lord is sitting in the heavens watching this wicked place full of pride. Pride month, pride year. They got pride everything. So the Lord is going to destroy you because of your pride.
Verse 19, it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor."
No pity upon his neighbor. That's what we're about to witness. No pity upon his neighbor. So your next door neighbor, who you've been getting flour from, you've been getting sugar from, you've been getting water from, you've been loaning a few dollars to, when his belly start touching and all hope is lost, he's going to be thinking about coming to your house to take what you got. And that love that you thought he had, is going to catch you by surprise. You're going to get a hammer upside your head. Go ahead.
It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword."
And it's kind of like that right now. When you driving out here on these highways, people cut you off. It's every man for himself here. So imagine when things get harder. Imagine when things get harder. You got road rage accidents all over the country. People getting killed, jumping out of cars, shooting other drivers, women. So it's somewhat like that right now. Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. And it says, "But shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation."
You already see the lack of bread is coming. Over the past year, over 100 and something food processing plants was destroyed. Eggs are sky high. So the famine is right around the corner. It's just going to take a little bit more time for it to manifest itself and be a reality.
Time is short too, so hey, it's gonna be quick, because like I said, like we talking about actual critical essentials, like the chief things of life. The scripture tell you about Sirach, salt, the blood of the grape.
Yep.
Oil, and then we got different shortages of these things. Like I say, eggs, that's heavy. Eggs, like I said, you can eat like eggs as, like I said, it's the simplest thing, cracking that mug and just frying that thing. And You saying Jake can't get that?
Shit, wasn't the one brother bringing us eggs like by the
yeah,
he was bringing eggs by the dozens,
the
man.
Doc was bringing them like, cause he was at, he got little things with the farm and stuff.
Yep.
He brought me like 5 racks.
Yep.
That's like, and it's not a 24. It ain't a dozen.
Yeah,
I'm
it wasn't a
talking
dozen.
about,
It was like a
this man
24
was
per.
giving me hundreds of damn eggs and shit. And actually, it was crazy because I believe in the spirit. Like, I mean, you would self-reflect. I was like, yo, like, cause now you think of times now when you didn't, now you don't have these things. You be like, damn, I could use them damn eggs.
Yep.
I might have took it for granted. Cause some people like you think, all right, I could go to the store and get some eggs.
Right. Yep.
Nah, not right now. Yep. You can try to get some. I got the picture on my phone. I went to a bargain market, tried to get like a bulk egg. They said only two for customer limit.
Yep.
So and then it was only like one. It was only 1 or 2 there.
Yep.
And then the other eggs, they were high. And I was like, man, I'm not even eating. I haven't ate eggs in a while.
You're gonna go through a different. You're gonna do a different alternative
I eat eggs
now.
in a while.
Yep. You're gonna do a different alternative.
Then, all right, yogurt. I've been seeing most of these stores, they ain't got yogurt, more varieties of yogurt and stuff as they used to have pre-pandemic and stuff. And I seen during the pandemic how they shot that up, double the cost.
It's funny too, and I don't know how eggs was affected, but I do know like during that pandemic there was the supply chain, like basically the driving was so they were throwing shit out. And I believe I gotta look it up, but I believe eggs was one of those things that like they because chickens don't stop fucking laying eggs, they just lay eggs. But if they have no way to transport it, they basically just gotta get rid of them or they just stockpile them, right? But that was happening with like, a lot of the greens and like lettuce and potato. I know potatoes was one of them. Potatoes they were just thrown out by the dozens because like they couldn't transport it to the stores because of like a lot of the issues that they were having. So I do know that was happening on like I want to say 2020, 2021. And everyone's like, well, why can't we just? Why are they just throwing it out? Why can't we, go to them or whatnot? But they were basically saying that there's a break in the supply chain. It's not as easy as just giving it to the stores or whatnot.
Because remember, most restaurants were on.
Oh, yep.
Same thing.
Yep.
Our limited services, right? Remember, we was going to the different. Man, Mugs wouldn't even let us inside the building.
That's the other thing. Yeah, so you got a lot of these farms. It's like they can't give it to the restaurants because it's all shut down. So like
they just got producing.
Yep.
But then, like I say, where's the actual profit gonna come in?
Yeah.
Because then remember also, then the restaurants are operating, but then the customers not coming in either too. So then they operating at a loss and a debt.
Yep.
Like I remember this. The one guy he had told me flat out. He was like, man, I'm not even breaking even, man. But we still open and stuff. But now most of those businesses are either in debt more or non-existent. They closed down, closed shop.
Yep.
Like I said, I've seen actual profitable business. The pandemic shut completely down, just like that. And just like all of a sudden, like that can happen. All of a sudden, this place gonna be falling down. All of a sudden, the storehouse is gonna be found empty, as it tells you, right? Because your storehouses, these different warehouses, that's your storehouses, that's your treasury, that's where they storing up the food and stuff. But the Lord bringing these different various natural disasters. Mildew within, of course, the crops and all that. The crop yields ain't coming no more. You got different plagues and diseases that's hitting bird flus and what's the E. coli and all of that. We attacking all these different, animals and stuff. And then now we're without. And Esau knows this and knows the effect. All right, when this happened and how that's going to affect the traffic, because that's all America is all about, merchandise and traffic. When we were seeing that beer distributor come in Jake neighborhood with he unloading cases and cases of beer out of a truck. What's going to happen when the truck prices go up, right? Which that has been continuing to go up, the gas and all of that, the operation. Nobody ain't gonna be able to really operate no more, and that means your stores ain't gonna be full, and then that means also the store prices, since there's a scarcity of food, then the supply and demand. All right, now it's more money for what's there because it's scarce. Hey, like I said, that's what we got. That's what we looking at, man. We looking at that black horse. We're looking at the inflation, the hyperinflation. Revelation 6.
It all goes back to smiting Egypt with plagues as before. So this place is finished. You know, but the men of the Lord be given the eyesight to see, you know, repentant destruction that's coming destruction. We preparing our spirit for it. You know. Read 19 again, bro. Show.
Yeah, God.
He said,
It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
for lack of bread and great tribulation, you know, these people's houses are going to be destroyed. It's going to be like a Mad Max movie, you know? You familiar with Mad Max?
Yeah.
You know, if you had fuel, you were rich. The basic essentials of life, you're going to lose your life for it. A loaf of bread, a gallon of water, some oodles and noodles. Simple things is going to be worth your life. You know, but the Lord is going to sustain his men. They say, they shall be hungry. Somebody get that? They shall be hungry.
Oh,
my servants shall eat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Isaiah 65.
Yep. Yeah, any like insert this, any post-apocalyptic movie or show that you watch, anything like that, you see how they'll go to door to door, and the houses are already ransacked. These are people's homes that's already got no goods in it. They're already, they might show like that the person that was living there is dead now, and there's nothing there, because they already got ransacked,
Well, guess what's going to be on the menu? You.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
You know, you're gonna be the delicacy.
Yep.
Fingers, toes, knees, ears. Want to read that out?
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord thy power, behold, my servant shall eat.
Yeah, my servant shall eat. Go ahead.
But ye shall be hungry.
Ye, who is ye? 2/3, sleazy eat. You know, all other nations, they're gonna be starving out here. But his servant's gonna eat. So by us doing the work of the Lord right now, we storing up treasures in heaven. So when that great tribulation comes, we gonna eat.
Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
Yeah, the rivers that's polluted right now that these people can't drink out of, we gonna drink. We gonna be able to drink. But they not gonna be able to drink. All the water's contaminated, polluted. And if you do drink it, you're gonna die.
Remember, what's that count? King? Who dropped some sweet tea in some water?
Exactly.
Made it. Yeah, count.
Read it again.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore saith the Lord thy power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Again, the 2/3 gonna be hungry. You Edomites, sleazy eat, you're gonna be hungry. Go ahead.
Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
My servants, the elect of Israel, is gonna drink. But 2/3 sleazy eat, the rest of the nations gonna be thirsty.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, just like how Yahushua, he had the ability to, turn water into wine. Yep. We can easily, through the Spirit, if the Lord, the Lord can easily have it where, we're thirsty, it's some water that's, already, bitter. You can turn it into, basically pure water. It's not far-fetched because we've seen Yahushua do that. And like what the brother was talking about, the account. Drip. Well, he's kidding.
I got one, but I'm gonna get. You want the smite? I got that now. That's 15:11. That's yeah. This is 2nd Edges 15:11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt like it." With plagues as before. I'm fighting with this Bible. It says, as before, it will destroy all the land thereof.
With the numbers, I guess. Bitter water sweet. Yeah. Get the account that's in the gospel of Paul's writings. Right? It reiterates bitter waters. Might be Hebrews. Bitter water was made sweet. Yeah. That's the account it's talking about.
Exodus. Yeah, Exodus 15 and 25. It says Exodus 15, or let me start up above. It says Exodus 15 and 22. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. Verse 23, and
Yeah,
when...
so that's a drought right there.
No, hold on.
Stop.
I'm breaking it down. Read it again.
Con, it says Exodus 15 and
Not
22.
necessarily a drought. Just there was no water where they were at. Yeah. Go, read it again.
Con. It says, so Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water.
It's a wilderness. Go ahead.
Verse 23, and when they came to Marah, it says they could not drink the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. Verse 24, and the people murmured against Moses, saying, what should we drink? Verse 25, and when he cried unto the Lord Yahweh, and Yahweh showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and ordinance, and there he proved them.
Right, that's a good example. So go, somebody find in the Gospel or Hebrews where it says the bitter waters were made sweet. Should already had that. I mentioned it earlier before we start reading. Now go back to where you were. You just read now. Go back and read where you just read. Other brothers should get it. They should already have it.
To the point?
No, read the whole thing.
Go on, it says...
to the point.
It says Exodus 15 and 24, and the people murmur against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? Verse 25, and he cried unto the Lord Yahweh, and the Lord Yahweh showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet.
All right, yeah, so that's within the realm of the Lord's power to turn bitter water into sweet water, or contaminated water to proper, water, drinkable water. All right, that's part of the Lord's spiritual power. The scripture says, well, the Lord, he spit in the guy's eyes and made him see. Rubbed his eyes clear. There's other accounts where someone had to go dip themselves in a lake and they became clean. That's all a part of the Lord's spiritual power. There's nothing impossible for the Lord to do.
I think that was Elijah with like the leprous person.
Yeah, it might have been king or something like that.
Yeah.
Hazael.
But I don't think he wanted to do it or something like that.
Yeah, I believe he did though. Or,
He did.
Yeah. Another one. See, the Lord controls. Yahweh Shai controls everything. Right? And just because we don't see his power as we want to see it right now, doesn't mean it don't exist. That's why we had the record. Right? The record tells us all the events that's about to happen. Right? Get where it says we're going to separate the sheep from the goats. Matthew 24, 25, 23. Sheep from the goats.
Matthew 25, verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all the nations, and he shall separate them from one from another, as the shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. That was it right there?
Yeah, look up the goat.
Keep going.
Look up the word.
Oh, look up the word goat. Eon, a kid, a young goat. When you go to the root, it's the same thing. A kid, a young goat.
What does Isaiah 34 say? Does Isaiah 34 say that Babylon, America is going to be a sacrifice? Sacrifice in Boswell, I believe that's Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34.
Isaiah 34, it says, verse 1, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein the world, and all things that come forth of it. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter.
The indignation is upon the nations, which is meaning righteous anger, because they put their hands on the Lord's chosen people. So that's the punishment, for overstepping those bounds is going to be your destruction. Go ahead, read on.
Going down to verse 6, it says the sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and the blood and with the blood of lambs and goats.
You have all the nations. The Lord is going to use his sword, to exact his anger on all the nations. The Elam, Moab, Ishmael, the Edomites, even the 2/3 of our own people. The Lord is going to use that sword to punish you. But
it says, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord Yahweh hath a sacrifice of Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
He got a sacrifice in Basra, in the land of Idumea, which are the Edomites.
Well, here, this would be spiritually Idumea, right? Basra, chief place in the big city of Edom. Yeah, so that's going to be here. Yeah, and that's going to be here in America. That sacrifice.
The sacrifice in Basra is coming. And once that sacrifice comes, it's going to be our deliverance. Because this is not our homeland. This is not our place of rest. This is a place where we came to get trodden underfoot and oppressed and brutalized. Anybody got something else?
Yeah, no, this is what you're going to speak.
Go on.
Everybody spoke except for gotcha.
You want something?
Yeah, you can go ahead and get, Isaiah 63.
Isaiah 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Yeah, and what that land of Basra, like what the brother was just saying, is one of the great cities within the land of Edom. In the the ancient land of Edom. So that's symbolic. We know Basra is symbolic to that chief place of Edom, which is America. America's that chief place of basically the Edomites.
It's that golden city, as it's called.
Yeah,
right?
that golden city. So what? And then it says, who is this man that cometh with what? What does it say?
From Edom. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?
Yeah, dyed garments from Basra. And then keep going.
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness.
Yeah, because when the Lord comes back, he's not going to come back, like a man, like the scriptures say. The scriptures say he's not coming back like a man. He's coming back like an angel.
Get that.
Yeah, Thessalonians, also
Yeah, because, a lot of people think when the Lord comes back, he's going to come back like a nice, effeminate, Cesare Borgia, appearance, like they see on these, paintings. No, man, the Lord's coming back in a great, glorious apparel. He's coming back with a new perfect body. The Lord's not coming back, with a soft, effeminate, weak body, like a lot of these people think.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind mill. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Yeah, because this place is now being uncovered. America is being uncovered for, all the wickedness that they have done and they're doing, in plain sight and, under the table as well. What the scriptures say in 2 Thessalonians, how basically, or 2 Thessalonians, I believe, for how the wickedness, basically that wicked man will be revealed. And, he's being revealed right now as we speak. And, hey, everybody knows, man, Esau, so-called white man, is the physical counterpart of Satan.
And the virgin daughter of Babylon means that this country has never been penetrated by another army,
Okay.
So it's right for the taking. She's a virgin. War has never came here, so she's right for the taking. That's why they said make bare the leg.
Yeah, just the scriptures speak about how this place is likened onto the place with unwalled villages. Basically speaking that no one
has a weak defenses.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't seen like major war as what it's gonna see when the Lord brings forth the nuclear missile. Like I said,
the brother said, consolidate that. It's never been touched by a foreign power. Okay? Never been touched. Verse, where we at?
Verse 3. Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Yeah, like you got these celebrities being exposed like crazy. You see the latest one with John Cena? Yeah.
that was true.
Then what about Shia LaBeouf? Now this nigga been gone pretty much out the scene for a long ass time. Been labeled as a conspiracy theorist, pretty much doxed. Then you see him, he's filming supposedly for a new movie, he in high heels and a dress. Those are those shaming rituals. And a lot of people now, they know it. That's why a lot of comments, they'll be like, oh, well, that's common in Hollywood. So it's commonly known now of the different rituals that these celebrities got to do in order to continue to be famous, to continue getting a paycheck, right? That's just one example, okay? The pedophilia, the shaming rituals. And that's just one aspect of this man being revealed. Because in order for you to take part in his society and gain those riches, you got to shame yourself. You got to humiliate yourself. You got to do things that are wicked, that are abominable in the sight of the Lord. Homosexual acts is one, right? Pedophilia is another. But he's being exposed for those things. Left and right. All right? Just to give you an example. How about the fact that there are reports that came out that America is responsible for the pipeline, North Street pipeline, right? What about what's going on in Ohio without the regulations that they should have had with that train situation, and all the residents basically putting up their videos, with the water, the chemicals, you see chemicals right in the water. So he being revealed. He's not a righteous man. And before the Lord takes the kingdom out, he got to do what? He got to let them know what their sins are. But we've been telling them what their sins are. That's the thing. Now the rest of the world is seeing it. But we've been standing here as a witness and a testimony against this place. But now the Lord giving examples as to what the scriptures say. Because we already seen it without having to have all these examples. Okay? But it's being defined that this man is the devil.
I was gonna say that pedophilia and homosexuality is working hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is
Well, that's the LGBTQ.
yeah.
That's a perfect example as to what you're saying. That's why they're allowing so-called drag queens, as they call them, to perform in front of elementary school students. Read to them to normalize that behavior. Because they're slacky. They're what you call grooming them into that lifestyle, into that freakism. Make your point.
All right. Like I said, they're leading the cases in pedophilia. A lot of people don't know that a homosexual has either thought about molesting a child, is currently molesting a child, is currently about to molest a child. Essentially, most of the cases that you see on pedophiles has something to do about homosexuals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Adoptions. That's one of them. Adopting little boys.
Right. Yep.
And there's actually an article I was reading that proves my point. But I'm gonna try and see if I can pull up the article.
And we're just giving, listen examples. People gotta do their research. Go ahead. Finish Isaiah 40.
Okay. 47. Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame.
Like shame. It's everybody seeing what a wicked place this is, and how its influence has impacted the rest of the world.
Yeah, we're seeing what Biden, the whole world is laughing at this dude. He's following this, he's following this lead. He can barely even talk, So what? Hey, a lot of people just laughing at this. Hey, man, this is a guy who runs the whole entire United States. This, old guy with no brain.
Bumbling fool. He a bumbling fool.
This senile guy with, he could barely even talk. He falls asleep. He doesn't even know where he's walking on stage. This is a guy who's running America, man.
They say shit is so too.
As the leader, so are the people. The people are mumbling fools.
Yeah.
That's why they can pass any kind of law they want, because the people's fucking stupid asleep.
Yeah. And like what you just said, like the leader is, so are the people. Because what? The people are, the ones who are electing, which, these guys are set up anyways. But still, these same people are literally going out to vote. They went out to go vote for Biden.
Harris.
Biden and Harris.
Yeah, Harris.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, the duo.
I was in Germantown.
Undynamic duo.
Okay, yeah.
Fucking Edomites got the Biden and Harris banners in their windows and stuff. Still to this day,
No, they saying fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah. See?
Now they love Trump.
Fuck Joe
But-
Biden.
Go ahead, brother. We can continue.
I got a precept if y'all want.
Yeah, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
So the Lord completely links up with Isaiah 63. The Lord will take vengeance upon Edom, man, for what? Their wickedness. And what? It's justified. And everybody's gonna know that this place, it needs judgment. And the Lord's uncovering and has been uncovering the wickedness of this place, man. So how much more justified is it gonna be seeing, the Lord actually destroying this place?
Another shame that's going to be seen is how you treated the Lord's people. How you raped, robbed, and brutalized us since the beginning of this country, even before then. So the world is starting to see who the Lord's chosen people is. That's a part of your shame that you want to pay for.
Even in which we know he's an Edomite. What's his name? How do we get this? Putin.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? When there was, some reporter was talking to Putin, basically saying, America has said, your country's doing that. He said, well, what about America? What they have done, to the so-called Native Americans, or he says Native Americans.
Yeah. But that's the shame for sure.
So this place likes to talk about other countries, but America acts like it's done nothing wrong.
Right? Yeah, they said they're going to bring up crimes against humanity because of the things that Russia is doing in Ukraine. It's like the wolf got a whole bunch of blood and came and slayed everything in his path, going to cry that somebody else is committing a crime. Let's hear hypocrisy.
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother.
God, it's Nahum chapter 3 and 4. Because the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth the nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts.
Yeah, because this place obviously is likened onto a harlot. What? Because when you come to America, it's many philosophies. They tell you it's a land of freedom. You can do whatever you want. Do what thou wilt. So what? This land is like the harlot. And another thing too, America receives a whole lot of imports from, these other countries. America.
Take it in.
Yeah, just take it in, but they don't really take out. Physically or, like philosophy, they be sending out to these other nations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
That's why it's like in the Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Because this place was used for the other nations to get rich. Just like you said, that's why it's disproportionate in terms of their exports as opposed to their imports. A lot of the goods from America comes from these other foreign countries. And that's how these nations make their money. So they treat America essentially like a harlot. Its only real purpose is to make these other nations rich. But it also does tie into their philosophies. Okay? Not to go into the way of the woman, right? In Proverbs, right? The strange woman, which is the philosophies. There's something called spiritual fornication, right? Which is when the nation of Israel goes after other philosophies or other gods. Go ahead.
Nahum 3 and 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yeah, so same point, linking up, with and Thessalonians.
Yeah, I have that.
Hey, brothers? Nations are laughing at America because you see our police force and our military, you know what they're doing in their downtime? They're on fucking TikTok. These nations, like TikTok is a Chinese company. Their soldiers ain't on TikTok. And their students aren't allowed to be on there like that. They're citizens, but the children, they're not allowed to be on there like that. They're reading. They're studying. They're learning the art of discipline and war. That's what these nations are learning. Yeah. You go join the military, you're in basic, you're over there making fucking TikToks with a little disclaimer. This has nothing to do with right. Your little disclaimer. This doesn't represent whatever branch of the military you're affiliated with. That's a fucking shame. I thought this was a great nation. A God-fearing nation. Mighty and strong. Brave and courageous. America's whole ass is out, man.
Yeah, shit. I mean, within the military, not too long ago, they already introduced saying that, during, basically one of the tests that require you to run, they're not saying you can walk. It's optional to walk now. You don't have to run anymore.
That's great. We can't learn.
But over there in Russia, man, their military, how they train, their soldiers, China, how they train their soldiers.
In the snow.
Yeah, they're in the snow.
Right, in America's military, you got transformers.
Yeah.
You got homosexuals. You got all these women. Okay? Then Russia was the one that signed a ban against same-sex marriages, right?
Yeah. A lot of the reasons why the military, dumbing down their training because, the women that they're bringing in. A lot of women can't handle. Physical tests.
Standard for women than they do for men.
Yeah.
And they keep lowering their standards for the men too.
Which, as a result, that's evidence that your military is becoming weak. Why would you lower the bar? Right?
Hey, a lot of people are asking why it took the U.S. so long to shoot down the China spy balloon. You know, like, hey, that shows a little, you know, that shows some weakness. You know, if you're just, you know, waiting so long for this, you know, foreign object, you know, in the sky to just shoot it down.
Well, they were saying that it cost them, I think, $45,000 just in jet fuel alone to power one of their jets. Not to mention the cost to replace that missile that they used. $45,000 just for the jet fuel. So there's a lot of money too to set forth their resources like that. You know? But hey, it does seem odd that at first it was deemed to be a Chinese spy balloon. You let it circulate one coast all the way up. I forgot exactly where they eventually shot it down, but that does seem odd. And then you shot it down. You have surveillance footage, but you haven't released the surveillance footage as to what it actually is. The argument is, oh, well, the footage isn't, it's not as visible, apparently, from what they're saying from the cockpit as you would want it to be to make it a positive identification. So then the question becomes, then why did you shoot it down? If you have incomplete information. So they're all over the place. They're weak.
I believe I think it was a few days ago. You had, you know, Russia fighter jets, you know, flying around Alaska. Meanwhile, you know, U.S. is this, you know, mighty nation that, you know, that can't be touched. But you literally got foreign aircraft, you know, flying over here. You're not even, you know, really doing nothing about it. But you can go ahead and go back to Isaiah 63.
Isaiah 63.
Oh, it's still more now?
That's a wee bit. It says, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Yeah, and they seeing all of your shame and stuff, the different hypocrisy, and your different various policies, the sins that you committed against the nation of Israel. All right, America is a laughing stock. You know what I mean? Like, this place is the biggest joke. You know, a lot of times people be asking us why we even here, but because we here because we in captivity. You know? Yep. And it says, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stalk. There you go. Everybody's looking at the at America and Babylon. They're seeing the shames of the sins that it commits. You know? That's it. All right. So you wanted what? Isaiah 63.
Yeah.
Isaiah 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak.
Yeah, and when the Lord comes back, we already read how he's not coming back like a man. He's coming back with a spiritual, perfect body. You know, he's coming back as well in a chariot. The scriptures speak about, you know, the Lord coming back in a cloud, but that cloud is symbolic to a chariot. You know what? When it says in 2nd Ezra 13, you know the Lord. Ezra saw, you know, the chariot, you know, within the vision that, you know, the Lord was coming back in, and he said it basically covered, you know, the whole entire sky. He said he was looking for a mountain.
Yeah,
you know,
He said he engraved himself a mountain and flew upon it.
Yeah, and then what Ezra was saying that, you know, basically he's trying to see if, you know, a mountain got plucked out of the earth, you know, because that's how big it was. That's how big the chariot was.
Right. It's basically the chariot was attributed to the size of an ancient mountain, man.
Yeah, you can go ahead and get that.
You want it?
Yeah.
All right, straight to the point. 2nd Ezra 13 and 12. And it says, and afterwards I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And it said, and there came much people unto him. Were so I can go up a bit, bud. So I can go a bit, bud. All right, so this is 2 13:6, and it says here, but I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, I could not. Right, which
Yeah. Going into the point, you know, Esdras, that's how big and massive this object was in the sky, and Esdras was trying to see if, you know, it was some land, you know, like a valley in the land or something, you know, to show that a mountain came out of it. Because that's how big, you know, the object was in the sky. You know, that's Yahushua's chariot.
Yeah.
But even like, you know, the NASA footage, you know, it showed this big object that was massive and it was bigger than the whole earth, you know? So it's not far-fetched to believe that Yahushua's chariot cover the whole entire sky, man.
Yeah, if you go like 5 miles from here on I-76, they got a billboard with it's not really on there saying Hamashiach is here. That didn't describe that bill. That didn't say the billboard was going to be how he's going to come. You nobody see that?
no.
I-76 right down there in South Philly, they got a billboard up there with it's not really on there saying Hamashiach is here. I wanted to take a picture of it.
I might check them out. I might have took a picture.
Yeah.
It's probably
Huh?
Hebrew?
One of the
Is it in Hebrew?
yeah. It's not in the right. It's in English, but it's saying Hamashiach.
Yeah, right? Transliterated.
Yeah. Come. I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to the chat next time I ride past it.
Yeah, but what? That's the point. Go ahead, brother.
Con.
Back to Isaiah 63.
You can know who put it up if how it's spelled. You know, if it's spelled like how we spell it, then it was probably one of the one West schools that put it up. If it's in
Yeah, it was like the
They got a
Yiddish.
hole in it. They got a hole in it, so I know it.
if it's in a Yiddish Hebrew or the Israeli Hebrew, then that's a Christian
Meshach,
church.
yeah. The Meshach. But,
Continuing on.
yeah.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Yeah, and you know, that's symbolic. The Lord isn't literally going to get his garments, you know, filled with blood. That's symbolic to how much bloodshed that the Lord's going to cause on the nation Edom. What was that one scripture we had out where it speaks about, you know, the judgment the Lord has prepared for Esau? Well, basically, hey man, the Lord got a judgment prepared for Esau, man, and then his garments being dyed in blood is symbolic to how much bloodshed that he will put upon the nation Edom, man.
Y'all read where it said that it will reach the horse's bridle?
Right, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's a good illustration for the amount of bloodshed that the Lord is going to do out here.
The one that he was reading, right?
Yeah, you done with that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, we read that. Yeah. That the Lord is coming back as a spiritual force. With unlimited power. Okay? Because when he was on the scene, he possessed that power. But the Lord had him doing a very specific thing. Right? Which was to be that sacrificial lamb for the sake of Israel to reunite us back to the Father. Excuse me.
Yeah, Con, and then, you know, another testament that the Lord, you know, more proof that the Lord isn't going to come back like a man is literally, again, 2 Ezra 13, it speaks to how, you know, the other nations, they'll try to come up against Yahushua, but they'll be scared. So yeah, you know, the Lord will literally put a spear on them to actually fight Yahushua, man, and along with his force.
Revelation 14, verse 20, straight to the point. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and the blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs.
Yup. You know, but the Lord's going to tread down on this, you know, spiritual winepress, which is what? America. You know, that's how the Lord's going to tread down upon because it literally links up with Isaiah 63. You know, that's how the Lord's gonna get his garments dyed by the blood of Esau. You know, by the blood of this land. And again, it's not literal, but you know, that's what it is, or literal in the sense that Yahushua's garments will not be actually, you know, bloody. But but bloodshed beyond America, that's literal.
I got two pieces when you're.
You say you got 2 pieces.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right, you know, you gotta remember that Esau is still a warrior, you know, at heart. You know, you go into Genesis 4:22. It says, and Zillah, which is a wife of Lamech, says she also bare Tubal-Cain, you know, which is a descendant of Cain. And Cain, you know, he came back as Edomite, also, which is, you know, a touch on you know, reincarnation. It says an instructor of every Antiphysa, you know, that goes into like, you know, like a smith, a maker of weapons and stuff. It says of in brass and in iron, and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. So, you know, the weapons that Esau has, whether it be these robots, you know, these jets, you know, the training, see, then they have all these, you know, weapons of Esau's, you know, killing. But the Most High is going to bring him down, you know, in his pride. And I'm going to just read Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. It says, the pride of thy heart, you know, because of all these weapons that he created, you know, his pride is up there. You know, all these instruments that he has. Verse 3 says, the pride of thy heart had deceived thee. Thou hast dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. So, you know, at the height, you know, of Esau weaponry and his pride, the Most High is going to bring him down from that. You know what I mean? Like the brother said, you know, he's going to have the spirit to fight in these last days, you know, because he has those weapons and stuff. That's boosting his pride, you know, but the Most High is going to destroy him.
Revelation 4:9.
That's it. Lower than I said it correct.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, there's quite a bit there, but you know, just sticking to the points. Can you read the last verse that you read while the brothers are getting over there?
This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, "Do thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and do thou set thy nest."
Yeah, because what Esau, he exalts himself, you know, as an eagle. You know, when you look at the back of a quarter, you know, you see, of course, an eagle. When you see the national animal or national bird for America is what? The eagle, the bald eagle. So, hey, that's prophecy right there. Go ahead, brother.
It says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Yeah, because what? Esau got his satellites in the heavens. We got satellites in space. You know, and what? Esau literally trying to leave the planet. You know, so he can escape, you know, all the wickedness that you know, he left behind. Because, hey, he knows eventually that if he keeps on ruling, man, you know, no flesh will be saved. So he's trying to make an escape out of this place. You know, they're sending monkeys to space. You know, they're sending, just doing all this because Esau, he wants to escape. You know, you see SpaceX.
He did go to outer space. He did not make it to the moon. The Lord said that when he did that, from thence would he bring you down. And that was around a time period where you had a man by the name of Abba Bivens come on the scene and introduce the sons back to the fathers again. Okay? The Israelites onto who they are, you know? And then it was refined under Elder High Priest Ariah, who through the Spirit was given the understanding on who the tribes are today. Because how is the Lord essentially bringing this man down?
Prophets.
Right, through the spirit of truth. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, spiritual grind.
Yep. Because remember, what did the Lord say about His word? It would not what? It would not come back to Him void.
When the Lord created the bounds, He can't pass. You can't. There's only so far you can go in the heavens.
Right.
There's only so far you can go under the sea. And there's only so far your kingdom can last.
Right. What we're living examples of that. Because if Esau would have had it his way, we would have stayed in slavery. And where they removed the physical change, they would have continued to teach us the ignorant lies that most of our people still are on today. If Esau had his way. But the Most High had it to where prophecy would be fulfilled, the hopeful elect would awaken to who they are, and simultaneously would begin the process of this man's downfall. Because the nation of Israel is rising. Why? Because the kingdom of heaven, which was created for Israelites, is being uplifted, is being exalted, is being established. So, just like you said, the Lord established those bounds. So in order for one nation to be taken down, that the next nation got to be risen up. So we're being risen up. And Yahweh Shai going to be the one to really take this man out and exalt us. But it's a process. So the process is the Israelites coming back to who they are. Okay, according to the scriptures.
That's why it says in Revelation 11, now the other nations, mainly Esau is getting scared because of what the prophets are speaking. Esau is watching the prophets, which is what we believe to be the men of great millstone, along with the like-minded brothers with the like doctrine, So,
Yep. It's book of Revelation chapter 12 and 9. You want me to start both? All right, I'm going to start at 7. Revelation 12 and 7. And there was a war in heaven. Let me start there?
yeah.
All right. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought in his angels and prevailed not, neither was their place found.
Yeah, and when a lot of people read this, they think, speaking about, fighting against, the Most High and stuff. Nah, man, it's not symbolic of that. So go ahead and read it again.
Revelation chapter 12 and 7, it says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Yeah, and what? Esau's preparing, his Space Force. Esau, the Space Force isn't being created for nothing, man. But the chariots, every single year, that the number for the, chariots seen every year increases. So what? This put a fear in Esau's heart. He's like, hey, man, we gotta be prepared. If these guys try to invade us.
You even got like articles now, like an article that came up too long ago of saying Esau saying he shot down some chariots and stuff like that in certain areas, which it's obviously false. You can't just shoot down a chariot.
Yeah,
but that's just Esau trying to show people like, we can take.
Oh
down.
Yeah, I'm still that guy. Don't get it twisted. We're still at the top. Out of everything. Nothing to take down America. Just more propaganda. More deceit for Esau. To make himself feel better. Well, go ahead, brother.
It said Michael and the angels fought against the dragon and his angels, and they prevailed not. Meaning, like, you couldn't have a fight for nothing.
They didn't win. They didn't win. Yeah. This is a future prophecy, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the verse 9. Sorry. I'll read verse 8 as you said it, basically. It says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. And
yeah, because it's going to be completely obliterated, Once they try to literally fight against the Lord Yahweh Shai himself, along with his holy angels, you know. Esau, hey, everything that Esau has is gonna be cast down. Every weapon he has, you know, this devil probably got, you know, a missile called, you know, I don't know, the Messiah Destroyer or something like that. Because that's how proud this dude is, man.
Yeah. Yep. I think as just to say, like, if lift not up the finger. So, but I'm gonna keep going. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the world, whole world.
Yeah, because what? Again, this symbolic to Esau's rulership being completely flattened and taking out the whole earth, man. You know, Esau's rulership will be completely overtaken by the Lord himself. And that's a period where Esau will go into slavery until 1,000 years where they're all blotted out, you know, out of existence.
Some people, it's hard for some people to fathom because, you know, Esau been going around the world, rape, robbing, pillaging, and taking numbers. And when you saying that his army is going to be destroyed in 1 hour, it's like people, it's hard to realize that.
They can't believe it. You know, because America, they got, you know, all these years of achievements, you know, with the military, you know, the great, so-called great stuff that they've done. And then imagine all of that being completely in 1 hour, man.
It's like that. Snap. The Lord making a speedy riddance of Esau, Edom, the rulership, the heathen, coming, you know what I mean, joining up with Esau trying to fight. It's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be nothing but dust and smell of smoke, as the scriptures say. God. And it says, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Yeah, those angels are symbolic to his, you know, his technology, his military, you know, all his weapons, and, you know, his technology Esau has, you know, that he's gonna obviously try to use to keep himself up. Hey, all that is gonna fail him, man, in that day. You know, all of Esau's, what, you know, his fighter jets, you know, his technology, you know, what, this devil be using his supercomputers to try to, you know, okay, well, Yahushua should be coming in this, you know, he should be coming in with this type of strength. Maybe if we match him, you know, make some special missiles, you know, we can overtake him. You know, they be making these simulations and stuff. Hey, that's a product of this devil, man. But yeah, again, you know, all of Esau's technologies that he glorifies, you know, himself with, all that's gonna be overtaken, man, once Yahushua comes back.
Yeah, this is you know, this was gonna happen, you know, after he you know, after Yahushua comes back and you know, destroys this place. So this Isaiah 14 and 2, it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
You can start verse 1.
No, Isaiah 14 verse 1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Yeah, the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel, because the Lord's only dealing with the nation of Israel. The Lord's not dealing with these other nations, man. You know, when the scriptures speak about Gentiles, that you know, those Gentiles are speaking about the Israelite foreigners who have the basically the mentality of a Gentile. You know, the stuff that they believe, you know, the customs that they keep.
Mindset.
But yeah, anything that concerns the Gentiles receiving salvation, those are Israelite foreigners.
Yeah, and Jacob and Israel symbolizes the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The nation of Israel split in two after the death of Solomon. So when you hear Jacob and Israel, that symbolizes the two kingdoms.
God. But yeah,
And it says, I'll start at the top. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Yeah, those strangers, again, are the Israelite foreigners who've been scattered amongst these other nations. Because what? One of the curses, Deuteronomy 28:64, was that we will be scattered amongst these other nations, you know, for our disobedience. That's one of our curses. So what? We literally, you know, a lot of Israelites took upon the appearance of a heathen You know, of course, because, you know, once the Israelite man is scattered to the other nation, you know, of course they sleep with a, you know, heathen woman. Their sons have, you know, heathen women. You know, their sons have heathen women. 3 generations later, you know, you have the appearance of you know, that heathen nation. But does that mean that, you know, you're now a heathen? No, because, you know, your seed or what you are is determined by your father's lineage. It's not determined by your mother. So, you know, you still have a spirit of an Israelite, you know. So go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 14 verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them, and the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Yup. And yeah, you know, the scriptures speak all about that, man. You know, how all the other nations will become our captives. You know, you know, there's gonna be a point in time, which is very near, where the Israelites will rule over all their oppressors. You know, all these other nations that had us oppressed, you know, they didn't care about us. You know, time's coming where them tables, you know, are gonna return. Go ahead.
And it says, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Yeah, scriptures speak about how we're going to rule. How Shai, first and foremost, will rule over the other nations with a rod of iron, and that's going to be passed down to us as well. You know, we're going to have basically the ability, you know. Hey, basically, you know, we're gonna be given that rod of iron, you know, to rule over these other nations. Yeah, Khan. You know, that the rod of iron, of course, there's gonna be that spiritual power, you know. Well, go ahead.
Revelation 2 verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Yeah, and you know, that's the faith and patience of the saints, man. Because we know what's coming, man. You know, the saints know what's coming. You know, we understand that's gonna, you know, once Yahushua comes back, once the Son of the Heavenly Father comes back, man, he's gonna take down these other nations and he's gonna set up his people. And what we're hoping for is that we can be, you know, a part of that ruling class, you know, so that we can rule over these other nations with a rod of iron on that first go around. You know, we don't want to be a part of the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which will be cast off and die on this side. Now we want to be on that first go around when Yahushua comes back. We want to receive, you know, salvation.
Verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter.
Yeah, so him that overcometh, he's going to rule with a rod of iron. That's one of the gifts the Lord will give unto those who patiently wait for him. You know, who patiently occupy themselves into doing his this work. You know, the falling after Yahweh Shai. That's going to be the prize that those men will receive. So, you know, you got a lot of Jakes, you know, they hey, for some reason, you know, they don't want that prize. You know, they don't want to rule over the other nations. They feel bad. You know, they want the other nations to be with them in the kingdom. Nah, man, then, hey, at the end of the day, you don't understand what you're a part of. Or, you know, you don't understand what the scriptures are really talking about.
Yeah, they lack vision.
They really don't even believe in the kingdom anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They believe in what Esau said.
Yeah, they believe in Esau's form of the kingdom. You know. Yeah, heaven and hell, when you die, you're just going to heaven, you're just in the clouds forever.
Not eating it, not having sex or nothing.
Yeah, you're just floating in the air like that, like, and you're in heaven, like.
Or they don't give a description, they just keep it perfectly obscure if they don't know.
Yeah.
Open-ended.
And then, and then when you ask, you know, these guys who believe in that doctrine, you know, like more intricate questions, you know, they don't know how to answer it. Because they don't know. The scriptures speak to you how the kingdom of heaven is going to be like. But go ahead, brother.
Verse 27. He shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father.
Yeah, so any type of power that these nations have is going to be completely shattered. You know, any type of, you know, even a little tiny bit of upper hand, nah, man, it ain't no gonna be such thing as an upper hand. for these other nations. Ain't no gonna be well, this nation has this advantage over the Israelites and this matter, but nah, man, ain't not gonna be, it's not gonna be any of that.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be no, America got like this so-called democracy. It ain't gonna be a nation. It's gonna be a part of the.
Ain't no gonna
sit on the table like have a say so in anything. Man.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the other nations they don't like how we're ruling, so that they can go to court. Have a council. Hey, yeah.
We don't want y'all. When you saw like a Jehovah's Witness, if you ever read their handouts or whatever, it's always like Edomites ruling, or they have like a multicultural thing. I used to look at them years ago. I used to see them. My friend used to do it.
They show like the kingdom is like a bunch of multicolored people.
Yeah, but it'd be like Esau be ruling, and a lot of them would be just Esau be like in power in a magazine. But then sometimes you'll see a black guy and an Asian person. But Esau is like, you can see like in Star Trek and everything, Star Wars, Esau has control over the whole universe in their minds. So in Kingdom of Heaven, you read the same thing too.
Did not they rule over us with a rod of iron? They were policing our communities with the cops. Every little thing we do,
right, well, that means Esau going to be in slavery. So
yeah.
It don't mean Esau going to be an employee. He's going to be a bond slave. A slave that not even the bond slave, but a slave that's being oppressed. Not just going to be working. You'll be actually being oppressed while you're working.
Can I make it?
So it's not just a regular picking cotton and all that. It's not going to be like that.
Like an employee has certain rights. Like you can negotiate, right? Before you sign your contract as an employee.
I'm a little late.
Yeah, you like, okay. You look at the contract, say, okay, well, my desired salary is such and such, Not that they're gonna necessarily, but they give you that option. See, my point is Esau ain't gonna have no option. They ain't gonna be signing no contract. Okay, every third day of the month I'm gonna catch a little less hell, maybe. No, unless it's the Sabbath.
If you get written up, you're going to get your ass beat. That's the right.
Right.
It's not like a warning.
Right.
Then you written up the second time, third time you fired. Every time you get written up, you're going to get your ass beat.
See, I'm just dramatizing the fact that it's not going to be on the level.
Or a regular slave.
Complete and complete subservience.
Being oppressed.
Oppressed.
You're going to be picking cotton, then you're going to have a big, scary black dude looking over you. Looking at you, how you picking the cotton out the ground.
On your back and shit, like.
My brother just made a comment. What Esau does now is he sees 15 minutes before he got to clock out. And this nigga over here milking the clock. You see his ass fucking starting to put shit away early. You see him start to line up at the time clock, the clock out. Like the brother say, he ain't gonna be clocking out early on a Friday evening.
Yeah, and what? That's why you gonna say something?
You be like, hey, where you going, man? Well, it's punch out time. It's like, we got fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then another thing about these jobs too is that you can leave, basically whenever you want. You can quit that job. Hey, it's not gonna be any quitting in the kingdom, man.
Well, you're gonna be put on auctioning blocks too. You're gonna be put on auctioning blocks.
Yeah. Because brother's gonna be going. Okay, I'll take him. Yeah, I like him. I like him.
He gonna work.
Yeah, and Esau ain't gonna be able to say. We're not gonna be looking at Esau like, oh, what's your availability? Can you only work mornings, evenings, nights?
You come into the field today. Put in
Okay. Look. If you come right now, I'll give you double. Pay. Like, no, it's not gonna be any of that shit.
Get your last scripture together, but I wanna.
Yeah, we gotta get out our second Ezra 13.
And then get the continuing point.
Read that. Y'all made a whole bunch of references, so that information should come out.
13. Right.
And then get Ezekiel 39, I believe, continuing point.
Seek out. Alright. Second Ezra chapter 13. I started the rise at the top. Alright, actually.
Yeah, more.
Yeah. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Yeah, because when Yahushua comes back, it's again great power.
Right.
Waves gonna be shaking, earthquakes. You know. Go ahead.
Michael
Heaven,
and his angels.
angels.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, come on.
Yep. And it says, thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that
See?
were seen under him.
Yeah, more of a point that the Lord's not coming back like a man. He's coming back like a new, perfect body being, man. You know, a strong power.
Yeah, when they see the chariots, they're gonna be afraid when they see the fire in the sky.
Come.
Bright light.
Yeah, you know, they're gonna see the thousands of heavens, man, you know, with great power. You know, people looking at this. Well, read Wisdom of Solomon 5.
Yeah.
You know, it speaks to how these you know, basically, all, you know, the people, you know, our enemies are gonna be, you know, behold, you know, this salvation that's occurring. You know, it's a strange, what is it, a strange sight unto them?
Yeah, the right.
Strangers
Trouble,
of our salvation.
they're gonna be troubled. Terrible fear.
Second Ezra. Get through Second Ezra.
Yep. It says, now it says, yep, it says, verse 4, it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Yep, gone. And then as you read down, it speaks to you how that's not literally the Lord breathing out fire out of his mouth. That's symbolic to the lasers, you know, that these chariots are going to be able to shoot out. You know, as you read it describes to you what? Fire mingled with tempest and lightning, basically paraphrasing. So what do you, when you combine all those together, what do you basically get? You get a laser. You know, Jake want to laugh and think it's so far-fetched when the scriptures literally describing that, you know?
And it says, this is verse 5, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Yeah, and these are these other nations, again, who will try to, you know, make an alliance, like what Ronald Reagan said. You know, if extraterrestrial force came on the earth, wouldn't we all team up together to fight against this force? So that's literally what's gonna happen. These other nations, because hey, they know when Yahushua comes back, every nation's rulership is in danger. You know, so they have no choice but to make an alliance and try to take down Yahushua. Because again, Yahushua is gonna take down all the nations. You know, speaks to you how the Lord will have many crowns upon his head. That's symbolic to him having dominion over all the other nations. You know, taking every nation's crown, man. You know, putting on his.
Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Yep, because again, these other nations, they will be afraid. They'll fight against the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But what? The Lord's going to put the spirit on them to fight. You know, because what? Hey, the Lord, this is the Lord's movie at the end of the day.
Yeah, it says the Lord must have hosted the battle, so he control the army.
The Lord, he's the ultimate director, man. You know. Hey, the characters but you know, the actors within the movie, you know, they don't want to sometimes do a part. The director say, hey, no, you got to do that. You know.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it has been a blast of fire out of his lips, a flaming breath, and out his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Yep. Because again, that's not literally Yahushua breathing fire out of his mouth. That's symbolic to the chariots. You know, shooting out what? Like it says right here, like a breathing fire, like sparks of tempest. When you combine that together, what do you get? You get base, you get a so-called laser. You know, Esau doesn't get his laser technology from out of thin air. You know, he has studied these things. He's seen these things.
Sorry. And it says, and they were all mixed together. The blast of fire, the flaming breath.
Yeah, now it's telling you that they're all mixed. You know, all these things. Yeah, these elements. You know, are now. It's describing to you. You know, now they're being combined into something. So let's get it.
Mm-hmm. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one.
Yeah, burn them up every one. And then how did it burn them up?
So that upon a sudden of the innumerable multitude, no thing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
Come on, man. So tell me, what can completely vaporize somebody that there's just dust and smoke? They show you in these shows, these cartoons, you know, a cartoon, or, you know, a laser hit somebody in a cartoon, they poof. Come on, man. They don't get that from nowhere. They get that from the scriptures.
Dang.
Turn to ashes.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
You like, what happened to that boy? Yeah.
Yeah, you see what? A Superman, he got, you know, laser vision. You know, he can vaporize his enemies. You know, who is it? The X-Men character?
Yeah, I was gonna say X-Men character. Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops. You know, he got that heat vision. Esau doesn't get, you know, these concepts from out of thin air, man. He's inspired by it.
I was gonna say like the Dragon Ball Z, like every blast disintegrate you.
Yeah, hey, see, man. So how Jake think that's far-fetched that the chariots are gonna have the ability to shoot lasers, to completely vaporize anybody who tries to come up against them. Well, go ahead.
It says, and when I saw this, I was afraid.
Yeah, so because Ezra's, man, he's seen all this going on, man. It's, hey, you gotta think about it. You know, Ezra's is seeing, you know, the future, all this technology, all these weapons, these new modern day weapons. You know, this fight that's going on, you know, in the heavens. So, yeah. And what, even, you know, men were stronger back then, you know. So even Ezra was scared of seeing this. So how much more, you know, hey, you can only imagine how bad it's gonna be.
And it says, afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain, and called unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and the other some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive thy prayer. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as
Sit on that.
Stop. Yep.
Well, yeah, that's the point, man.
Ezekiel 39.
Ezekiel 39, verse 13.
Start
12. Ezekiel 39, verse 12. In 7 months shall the house of Israel. Excuse me?
Go 13.
13? Oh, come on. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified. Let me start over, Salakia. Ezekiel 39, verse 13. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
I think if not everybody gonna get vaporized, some of them gonna get wounded. Got an epicenter in the middle, and then you got the damage going outward. But if you're in America, you're definitely gonna be vaporized.
Mm-hmm.
But other places, you know, there's gonna be people gonna be wounded. And they're gonna die from other stuff too, you know, not just the fire, the residual of the fire and the fallout. The other diseases, the radiation, all that, and what else? The fallout.
Yeah. Because, you know, missiles are not only going to be shot upon America, there's going to be missiles, you know, basically everywhere. But, you know, the majority of missiles will hit America, but, you know, there's still going to be missiles shot on other places as well. So, you know.
So the missiles going to be hitting, remember, UK going to be shooting missiles on America. You don't think America going to be shooting missiles back?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the Lord controls where they go.
Yeah.
Whether they shoot them or not, the Lord controls the whole army.
Yep.
Look, continue.
Verse 14, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end 7 months shall they search.
Right, so they're going to be burying bodies.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, it says 7 months. All right. So the people that don't die by the nuclear fire, or not disintegrated by nuclear fire anyway, they're going to be killed by radiation, other means, wild animals, disasters, buildings falling on them, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
All right? And those people that are going to be burying the bodies are going to be slaves.
They're
Because no Israelites are going to be burying no bodies.
They're going to be Edomites.
Yeah.
Going to be the heathen. Right. So what does that tell you? That Edomites are going to survive the thermonuclear destruction.
Because they're going to go underground.
Mhm.
They're going to go down there and get them and bring them up. So
Yep.
they can bury the bodies.
Yep.
Yeah. And another thing too is that I believe in Revelation speaks to you how, you know, the birds and, you know, the scavengers will come, you know, pick,
Yep.
you know, the dead bodies, you know, of this land. Because what? Yeah, you know, America will become, you know, a land for, you know, scavengers.
Well, they're going to be scavenging off the people that's on the outside of other countries. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not the earth. They're going to be complete dust. But yeah, scavengers, that's what they eat. Scavengers like turkey and hawks and all that.
Turkey vultures.
Yeah, they get turkey vultures.
Yeah.
Turkey vultures. Those big ass
Yeah,
birds
yeah.
you see them from. Yeah, they be sometimes if something die, they'll hover around it, go down there and they'll start picking it apart. So they'll eat anything. So
Yep.
they don't have like they might like other flesh over others, but yeah, they're gonna be eating all types of dead bodies.
Yeah.
And he might be half dead, might still come down.
Witnessed that just
Cattle or
just this
whatever,
week.
or roadkill or some
turkey.
shit.
It's actually two of them, and it looked like a hit deer on the side of the road, but it was off to the side of the road. There was two of them standing over it, and they were getting it in, man. They were tearing that shit up.
You know, once all that happens, once, you know, the destruction happens, or after the destruction happens, you know, the boars and the pigs will finally be able to do what they're designed to do. You know, they're not designed to be being eaten. You know, pork, you're not supposed to be eating pork. So finally, hey, all the animals will be able to go back to what they were designed to do on the earth.
So the whole earth going to rejoice
Yeah, the whole earth will rejoice.
and be at rest.
Look up employment. Let's bring that last sentence. Employment. Just to be clear, it's not going to be irregular employment. It's going to be hardcore bondage and oppression. All right, both together. Not just you working on the cotton field or on a farm. It's going to be oppression. You're going to have a taskmaster, the people mounted on horses. You know, I'm hearing the clicking of the galloping and the metal banging and all that. You're going to be afraid. You're going to be nervous. Edomites, whoever, and the other nations are going to be in the fields. Employment. Look at that.
It's H8548. Continuity, perpetuity.
What's the Hebrew word?
Tamad.
What is it? Damayad.
Tamayad. Continuity, perpetuity, to stretch, continuously, continuity.
So what are these people saying that there's no slavery in the kingdom of heaven, or it's equality in the kingdom of heaven? It's not according to the scripture. Because after the dead bodies, that's the end of the world. The end of the world. The end of the age, as I said. End of the age. All right. Then you're gonna have the great destruction, the great destruction is going to bring an end to the age. Esau's rulership. All right?
Yeah, I was going to say, because they basically make it seem like the kingdom of heaven is up in the heavens and it's already, beautiful. No, we're going to make it beautiful by that employment, by that slavery. So just like...
I got the actual etymology for the word
employment. Okay, yeah. That's one of the, that's all it says. It's just employment.
You go down to the lexicon in 1A of going on without interruption.
All right, yeah. So basically, it's saying continuation. Yep. All right. So you got.
Yeah. Basically, like I was saying, like it's gonna be made beautiful, just like when the land of Canaan was given to us, which later became the land of Israel. We had to it was a war that went on. We took over the Canaanites, and then we made that land beautiful. That's exactly what's gonna happen when we get that full kingdom of heaven, right? We're gonna make it beautiful, and it's gonna be made beautiful by our slaves.
All right. And of course, we of course have the powers, to basically fix everything up. But nah, man, we're gonna let the heathen build it up.
Yep.
That's part of our power.
Yeah, that's our power.
Part of the executing power is to have subjects underneath you, have slaves. That's having a ruling class mentality. Remember, our fathers were known as the fathers of the promise, which were known as the patriarchs. Y'all brothers know what the word patriarch means? It means ruling family. It means ruling family. Okay, it's a compound word. Patriarch means family. And the second half means ruling. So, the ruling family is the Israelites. The fathers of the promise is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is written of the Israelites that we are a kingdom and a nation of priests and of kings.
It's a real highborn, right?
So, the real ruling families are the Israelites. It's not the Edomites. Okay? And part of executing that rulership and dominion that the Lord is going to give to us as joint heirs under Yahweh Shai is power to execute over the nations, meaning to make them serve us. And we are going to make them serve us. Okay? Because it's going to be a form of resistance. Now, if that was it on that, I'm going to read a precept, but I'm going to get the definition for the word employment first. All right, then I'm going to read the precept. This is Edom Online. Under employment, you have the word employ, and it means to apply or devote something to some purpose. Then the next part, or the next definition I'm going to read is, let's see, hold on. Yeah, to apply or to devote something to a purpose, make use of. Make use of. So that's actually the definition for the word employ. All right? The word employment goes back to the word employ, to devote something. So the other nations have a designation. They're devoted to being subjects to the Israelites. All right? Now, how do we prove that? This is Leviticus chapter 25 and 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of all their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, and they shall be your possession. So the type of employment, they're going to be devoted to a purpose. The devotion that they have, the purpose that they'll serve, is to be the subjects of the Israelites. That was the point. That was the point. And it's in the law. Well, that's what substantiates it.
Right, the law is going to be in our mind, so perfect, kept perfectly. So we can't dispute that. It tells you in the prophecy that the law is going to be in our mind. Right? The Lord not going to come back and eat pork. You're scavengers. It's not gonna happen.
And see, the thing about Esau, so we can make the distinction, is he's going to eventually be exterminated. So he has to get all the punishment coming to him and serve out that long period of what the scriptures say, 1,000 years, and then he's going to be exterminated. So again, going back to that word employ, he's been specifically devoted to serve that designation under the Israelites until the Lord says, okay, time to get rid of these people. See, whereas the other nations, they're going to be tributaries, they're going to catch hell, but over time, they're going to be able to enjoy land and certain other things. You know? Because the earth essentially is going to be in a state of peace. But Esau in particular, man, he ain't getting any. Remember, the scriptures say he found no place of repentance. So that's it. That's all I have to say. With that, you know, we hope you are edified. We want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Of course, giving double honors unto our apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Abba Ball, shalom.